Worldwide movement, peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq hollering at you one more again. All right, another quick video. Thank you, folks, for checking me out again. Yet again, quick but important, right? So I just concluded the video about love being more contagious than any disease. And I felt like it was only fitting or appropriate for me to talk about what love is to human beings and how it benefits us, or at least some of the ways that it benefits us so incredibly, right? Well, if we shift this a little bit to the scientific corner for conversation, then let's take a look at love as a vibrational frequency, right? You know, we've talked on various videos, and many of you are aware of the fact that human beings emit a electromagnetic vibrational frequency signal, or more appropriately, a field, right? And what often governs that field, or what most directly impacts the polarity of that field, right? Or more specifically, the actual vibrational frequency of that field, is our emotional states, right? Our emotional and mental states. And scientists have measured this, right? Rather effectively and accurately, right? Quite usually in hertz or megahertz, depending on the situations, the particulars of the situation in which the measurements are being taken, right? But generally, you know, we talked about what frequency is, you know, how frequent something is vibrating in a given time period or time frame, right? And that's how you come up with those measurements, right? So what scientists have again measured very accurately in human beings in connection to love and it being a vibrational frequency is that love, in terms of our emotional state and mental state, causes us to have our very highest vibrational frequency, right? It is the highest state, that and enlightenment, right? Or the highest state of mental and emotional being for a person, and thus ends up being the highest vibrational frequency states that we're able to attain, right? So, well, how does that directly impact us, King Sadiq? Well, one very, very important area that your body's vibrational frequency is incredibly impactful is your health, right? I've talked on previous videos on how there's been a lot of study done into what low vibrational states look like in human existence, right? Low and high vibrational frequency states. But what has been uncovered about lower vibrational frequency states is that they are very much associated with poor health, right? hospitals often have, in general, a very low vibrational frequency, right? If you were to be in a hospice, you know, there have been studies done in in hospice settings um, that have backed up the fact that indeed those people, those folks are living and existing in about the lowest vibrational frequency that you can, which is that of fear, right? And we can understand that. You know, unfortunately, the way we are taught, sort of the way we are trained to approach and think of death of our physical bodies is scary, right? Because of the implications that the limitations we have placed on ourselves as beings presents, right? When we don't perceive or cognize the fact that we are eternal beings, ultimately having a human experience in a human physical vessel, which in itself is very important, which is in itself an expression of our total being, right? And again, very important to the health of maintaining your beautiful vessel is keeping it at a high vibrational frequency state. And again, um, scientific and medical studies have backed this up, right? Folks that are in poor health or in near death are at the lowest vibrational frequency states. Um, Conversely, folks that are in excellent health, that are in excellent mental states, um, you know, these folks are resonating at the very highest frequencies. There's you know, a very direct correlation between maintaining a high vibrational frequency for yourself overall, you know, mentally, spiritually, and physically, but certainly very important to your physical body. You know, doctors for years have told people that stress is a killer, right? Literally, I know several doctors that have given that advice out to me and others, right? And you know, that stress they have directly linked to many of the most severe illnesses. Well, you know, the more extrapolated answer to that is that stress represents an extremely low vibrational frequency, and when your body maintains that resonance, you are opening yourself up to illness and dysfunction and or dis-ease, right? Cellular dis-ease. Also, scientists have successfully mapped the or matched, should we say, the vibrational frequency with pinpoint accuracy of just about every disease. What do you mean, King Sadiq? Yes, I told you, everything has a vibrational frequency. Everything, period. It is the the foundational state of existence, or the foundational basis of existence, is that everything exists in both particle and wave form simultaneously, and everything vibrates at some frequency, right? Constantly. So when we understand and grasp that, and grasp the importance, again, of us maintaining a high vibrational frequency, and that in order to have good health, you must ultimately keep yourself in a high vibrational frequency. Now that advice has actually already been given to you. Again, it just often sounds very different depending on the source you received it from. If you heard it from a doctor, they likely told you or warned you about stress and staying away from stress and how it adversely impacts your health. They're telling you essentially the same thing I'm telling you. I'm just giving it to you at a more scientific level, and quite honestly, I understand a certain portion of that is even quantum physics, but we need to understand about ourselves, and understanding all of that is part of that task. So yeah, it's very important for us to realize that a major component of our responsibility to ourselves is to keep ourselves healthy, and do so by giving ourselves, our bodies, the best opportunity to maintain health, which is by maintaining a high vibrational frequency. And you're only going to be able to do that by doing all the things, like I said, that you've already been advised to do anyway, like eating healthy, avoiding stress, uh, um, and things of that nature. So, again, just giving it to you in more of a breakdown so you understand how it affects you. And that's every area of health as well. Not just your physical health, but your mental health as well. Um, you know, Obviously, if you're having difficulties with mental health, it's very difficult to utilize the same tools, right? Or find yourself being able to utilize the same tools to control your vibrational frequency as if you had a healthier mental state, right? However, however, um, it is still important to understand it from that perspective, because you then can understand that you have a whole nother set of tools available to you, right? In order to deal with and to manage that. Well, what I mean by that specifically is, if you only look at your mental illness or your mental health issues as something that can be dealt with or solved or treated um, utilizing quote unquote, right, conventional or in the box methods, right, um, then you likely or often sort of become a little closed-minded about that, and you may fall victim to the lean on a pill syndrome, so to speak. And folks, it's fact that America is far over medicated, right? Even you even hear that from medical officials, right? I mean, it's just, we are the most grossly over medicated country in the entire world, and that's saying something really bad, right? I just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, rather than it just falling on the pop of pill remedies, um, if we keep an open mind about how our mental health is impacted by issues that may not be quite as transparent or obvious to see, right? Such as our vibrational frequency. If we keep our minds open to that, then we keep our minds open to all the things that we can do from a spiritual or energetic perspective to impact our vibrational frequency understanding that it would then impact our mental health greatly, in fact, right? So you don't want to close yourself off from any options of healing yourself, of recovery, right? Of remedy. So why would you choose to heal yourself off from, in all actuality, the most important aspect of your healing, both physically and mentally, right? Which is understanding and touching into the energetic, the spiritual, the energetic, the vibrational frequency aspect of it, right? So yeah, that's very important to us being effective healers of self, right? So we need to understand that we need to really take advantage of everything that is available to us to be healthy, right? Spiritually, physically, and mentally. And when we are at that state, then we have that much more to expel out to the world of a positive nature, right? You know, when you're healthy and doing good and feeling fine, you got all that positive energy that just beams off you out into the rest of the world. And when we all feel like that, or many of us feel like that, we get a wave going, right? We get a positive, energetic wave going that is very powerful. So let's keep that energy going out, right? And again, love is the absolute highest vibrational frequency state that you can resonate in, right? So keep love in your life. Appreciate everything, right? Appreciate everything. That's very important. That's, I think, one of the things that causes an obstruction of high vibrational frequency states in many of us is our inability to appreciate things. You know, I mean, I know folks who literally whine about their lives from the moment they wake up to the time they go to sleep. And it's like, you know, it's not that bad. It's really not. Particularly when you think about how bad or how difficult many folks in the world have it, right? You can always find somebody who's doing worse than you. And quite honestly, the lifestyle that we live in this country, we simply just don't realize, for the large part, exactly how much better or higher of a, or more comfortable, should I say, of a lifestyle we have, right? Now, than many others in the world. And, you know, and I'm talking about people who are struggling en masse, you know, with poverty, sickness. You know, my mind can't ever stray too far away from the African continent and how, you know, we have just grown very used to accepting that it's like essentially a land of suffering, right? There has been far, in my estimation, this is the way I feel about it, it's far, far too much suffering on that continent. And the way it has become normalized to most of us throughout our lifetime is really disappointing and sad, right? That most of us just accepted it and look at it so distantly. But I'm getting off onto another subject. Compassion is a very high vibrational frequency as well. So Let's always have that. All right, folks. Once again, thank you for chiming in, and keep yourself well. Maintain a very high vibrational frequency. Um, it's been said by many, but my man Ralph Smart says all the time, peace starts on your plate, right? So, I know it's not easy getting away from eating meat, right? I have zero judgment for anybody. It's not like I never ate meat in my life, or for most of my life, right? And it was indeed a process of essentially weaning myself off of it, or waning myself off of it, however you say that. So, no judgment there. But to work toward having the highest vibrational frequency diet you can have is certainly a step in the right direction. But in all things, seek balance and try to maintain a very high vibrational frequency, right? All right. Thank you once again. You know what it is. Worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq hollering at you one more again. I'm out.